So this is kind of where we left off last time. We figured out that Jeremy Bowers is the guy that was the murderer. And when we ran this, got this information, turned him in, we got this info, right? So if you think you're up for the challenge, try querying the interview transcript of the murderer to find the real villain behind this crime. Okay, so I've already just copy pasted this information up here to stay organized so I can clear this up. And going to filter on his person ID to get the transcript from the interview table. And let's just pull in the person ID, I guess. We don't really need it, but just in case you never know. So we'll pull the person ID, the transcript, are the only two fields that are in this table. And we're going to filter on the person ID, where person ID equals this number. So we'll run that, and Mr. Jeremy Bowers, this is what he said. I was hired by a woman with a lot of money. I don't know her name, but I know she's around 5'5" or 5'7". She has red hair and she drives a Tesla Model S. I know that she attended the SQL Symphony concert 3 times in December 2017. Alrighty, Mr. Bowers, well, thank you for that information. You were still looking at 50 to life, or whatever the sentence is, I don't know. So let's just select everything from the, what is it called? Facebook event check-in. Kind of weird. Facebook event check-in. Let's limit 10, I guess. Okay, so we got a person ID, an event name, nudists for people who wear one-button suits. We want to group by this person because that's who we're interested in, right? So group by person ID. We can now use a filter, another filter condition called having, and this only works after a group by. So having, we're going to use this count function because we want to count how many times, how many records the person ID group has, right? So we'll do a count 1. You can do a count 1 or count star. I like doing count 1, doesn't really matter. So having a count greater than or equal to 3, because remember this person said at least 3 times or 3 times, so it might just be 3 times. I'm going to do greater than or equal to 3. If I run this, ta-da, what does this tell us? This gives us 2 people to follow up on, or 2 leads. We have this mysterious person and this mysterious person. So which one of them is going to be our red hair female who's super wealthy and is kind of medium height and drives a model Tesla S, right? So we're going to work backwards now to figure out who this person is. So if we look at the schema diagram, this table connects to the person table through ID, through person ID. Okay, cool. So we're going to connect the person table and the Facebook event check-in table to pull in this name and their social security number and their license, because again, you know, we wanted to make sure that they also drive a Tesla Model S. Sweet. So from the Facebook event check-in. Is that right? Facebook event check-in looks good. Excuse me. But we're going to name this event just because. So we're going to do event name. And then we want the event as well. Actually, I guess, no, yeah, we do. We're going to need the date. Event date. Yeah, we've got the date and we have the event name. Perfect. And now we are going to join to the person table. So join person P on person.id, I believe, equals event.person ID. Sweet. Okay. So that's what we need to do, person ID. So now that I've established this bridge, I can now pull in tables or fields, sorry, from the persons table. So we'll do person.name, person.social security number, and let's do person.license ID, right? I think if we run this, this actually might give us the info we need. If I run that, did anything happen? Okay, yeah, it's gonna give us a bunch of information, but don't forget, that we've got these IDs to actually filter on. So what we're gonna do is filter on those. So where person ID equals, actually let's do in because we've got two values here. So we're gonna pull in both values and see which one of these people can give us more clues. No such thing as person ID. Okay, it's because that is just ID. Person. I actually messed up earlier. When I was copying these values here, I actually copied that one twice, so I actually lost this entire row. Let's go back to what I was doing earlier, so I'll just do that really quickly. And now, when we filter where p.id in this value and this value, we should have, sweet, a couple of rows. So we've got, looks like a Brian Pardo and a Miranda Priestley. So let's keep this a little simple. We don't need the event name because we already know it's a SQL Symphony concert. The date makes sense because we're looking for when the original date happened or when the murder happened. But although we might not need that right now because I think we figured that out in part 1. We'll keep the name. Social security number, I guess we'll keep it for now. License ID, we're going to use this license ID to pull in the license information to get that name. So, okay, so we're going to do that, and we need to join to the driver's license table. Join driver's license. So we'll say DL on driver's license.id equals person.license ID. Sweet. Okay, so now we can pull in anything from the driver's license table, and in this case we want the height, the hair color, the car make, the car model, and just for simplicity's sake as well, since the person we're looking for is most likely a woman, let's remove Brian Pardo. So we don't need this guy, and the way he's being brought in is through his person ID. So instead I'm just going to remove that guy and not use an in anymore because we're just matching on one ID. If I run it, where did I mess up at? Oh yeah, right here. Boink. Okay, Miranda Priestley. So yeah, her hair color is red. She drives a Tesla Model S. Her height is 66. Is that in between? Yep, between 65 inches and 67 inches. So she's right in between. And I have a feeling this is our person. This is our mastermind. So Miranda Priestley, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you can and say will be held against you in the court of SQL. Miranda Priestley, run. Congrats. You found the brains behind the murder. Everyone in SQL City hails you as the greatest SQL detective of all time. Time to break out the champagne. I agree, homie, I agree. That was not bad. That was fun, guys. So we figured out in part 1 the henchman who caused the murder, and then he folded under pressure in the interrogation room and spilled the beans, saying that there was a lady who paid him a lot of money to do that to do that atrocious crime. So we tracked her down, followed the leads, split up and looked for clues, turned her into the authorities, and now it's time to break out the champagne. So SQL Murder Mystery, check. That was a fun little game to kind of practice a little bit of SQL. Nothing too difficult. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. Hope you enjoyed it, and maybe I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.